What's up, summoners, and welcome back to another ProGuides Wild Rift video. My name is Kirks, and for today's video we're going to take a look at some absolutely broken high elo champions. Are you ready to add them to your champion pool? Because if you do, you'll be in for some crazy LP gains. Long story short, let's go. First on this list is something that is so unbelievably broken that you won't believe your ears when you hear this. But listen to me, what about Gragas and Senna in the Dragon lane? Gragas can either go full tank or AP depending on the enemy comp he's facing, and he'll be the one that farms minions. You might ask why, and here's your answer. As Senna, you don't want last hits. You just want to be close by when they're killed by your allies. The reason for that is the increased rate of souls for minions you didn't kill. With that, you can reach your soul threshold super fast and become an obnoxious champion early on. In lane, you want to be a bit more passive at the beginning. Your focus is poking, sustaining, and farming. So, thanks to Gragas' passive and your heal, it's nearly impossible to push you out of lane, and unless the enemy gets a lot of assistance from their teammates, you'll have an easy time living through lane. From a synergistic point of view, Gragas will keep you safe and he'll also engage for you. He's your solid rock to rely on and the facilitator of all plays until you have enough range to do whatever you want. Once you've pulled off the part of poking and sustaining in lane, you'll be able to apply a lot of pressure throughout the rest of the laning phase. You all remember how obnoxious Gragas as a champion is, yeah? So how much worse can it get when you have some artillery cannon behind him that also happens to heal, shield and peel for him? It's just not a good time for the enemy. Trust me, it's just outright frustrating to play against. And even better, in the later stages of the game this duo will undeniably carry fights. Senna's damage and range will outclass the enemies, and Gragas' tankiness will also allow her to push forward. As an extra side note, let your Gragas face check the fog of war for you. He won't be able to die, but you surely are. Keep especially that at the back of your head and never forget it, because if you die it's very likely that you're going to lose. Apart from that, there's little you can do wrong, unless you go and farm on your own. All you want are souls and you won't settle for anything else. And more importantly than that, don't get baited into building full AD Senna. It's just not worth it. You scale much safer and better with the tank build, and there's no reason to put yourself at unnecessary risk. Which, in essence, is one of the most important qualities in order to climb the ladder. Assess risk and reward and go for the most consistent route as often as possible. By doing so, you'll reduce variance and ultimately climb to your desired rank. If done properly, that is. But before we continue with today's video, make sure to check out our Discord in the description below. If you're interested in a friendly and super interactive community, then this is your place to stay. See you there. Our next pick is more of an exotic pick that you haven't seen in that fashion, yet. I'm talking about our Empress of the Baron lane, Fiora the Grand Duelist. She makes yet another appearance in a different role. This time she'll be played in the jungle. You might think it sounds kinda troll, but it's more than broken. Her clear is decently fast as all melee champions have cleave, and on top of that she has 2 auto attack resets. On top of that, her mobility is almost as obnoxious as Lee Sin's. I mean, have you seen her first ability's cooldown when she hits something? Yeah, it's like none. And exactly with that she's going to run you down. Similar to Lee Sin, she's a tempo-oriented jungler, but with less drawbacks compared to Lee Sin. Because if he doesn't achieve anything, he's going to turn to some useless minion whereas Fiora scales. While playing her, you want to look for aggressive plays around the map once you hit level 3. And thanks to a non-existent cooldown on her second ability, this is more than easy to achieve. Just think about this. If you can reliably block the combo of any champion, how can you ever lose a 1v1 on even terms? It's just not going to happen, and getting away from you won't happen as well. Go give it a shot and let me know how it works. But for now, just take a look as to how broken it is in action. So after looking at some smooth guilds, it's time for a quick break on our question of the day. How long are your queue times on average? I queued yesterday for like 50 minutes without finding a game, and I know it's sad, but let's see what the future has in store for us. They told us they're gonna be fixing this, and at the latest at 2.5 it will be better, but let's just see. You know the drill, leave your reply in the comments below. The next champion on this list is Renekton, and thanks to the buff he's received over a few patches, he's now an apex predator in the Baron lane. He has agency in lane and can reliably set up ganks and dives for his jungler, and best of all, once he is snowballed, he'll tear you apart instantly. Did you know that the Blade of the Rune King applies its damage 3 times on the empowered second ability? That's crazy damage. And even better, this item grants Renekton a lot more sustain as his first ability is not nearly as strong as the PC variation. Otherwise, if you happen to be stuck on the weak side, you can also just rush Black Cleaver and be some chunky frontliner for an upcoming dragon fight. For the trading pattern in lane, you want to be as toxic as possible. Making sure that you have your empowered second ability ready and all other spells available lets you engage for a quick but deadly trade. Dash in, auto attack, stun the enemy, cull the meek, and dash away. Repeat this until the enemy dies, so basically the second time you do this. Another important thing to take notice of is the fact that freezing minion as a Baron laner is kinda broken. If your champion has a gap closing ability, you can threaten all-ins very easily. So whenever the enemy chooses to disrespect you or simply misjudge your engage range, they'll just die and it's all over for them. So as a general rule of thumb, even though freezing isn't as broken as on PC, it's still broken by the way, utilize any tool you can think of to deny the enemy some extra gold. Also, in those scenarios you're opening up a lot of chances for your jungler to capitalize on. They'll love you for this. Free money for everyone. I mean, experience it yourself. Just take a look. For the mid lane, we have an all-time special from League PC and you already know his name. It's Lucian, an obnoxiously strong lane bully that needs to push his limits in order to carry the game, exactly what Lucian stands for. Basically like Draven. You want to make use of your first ability and get the enemy low enough to finally all in with relentless pursuit. While doing so, you want to weave auto attacks between spells to not lose a single point of damage. Utilizing the passive is such a major game changer, yet it's often so underappreciated. If you want to see more Lucian and more gameplay, you have to check out our Lucian guide. There you will see a lot of extra info as to why different builds serve different purposes and how to accelerate your lead. Especially in teamfights though, it's up to your mechanics to get the most out of the champion. Enjoy the show!
Broken words, broken bones, broken windows in our broken homes. Can't you see? You should never come too close. Believe me, 'cause I know. On the level with you. If you think that you can handle this, then you better know you're messing with savages, savages, we're savages. If you think that you can handle this, you gotta know who you've been messing with. Savages, savages, we're savages.
With that, we're at the end of today's video. Thank you all for watching, and if you enjoyed the content, make sure to like and subscribe to the channel to never miss anything ProGuides ever again. We also got some new things coming for you very soon. Stay hype and see you tomorrow.